Happy Halloween! What up, YouTube? Welcome back to a new video. If this is your first time here on the channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Definitely check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. This is easily one of my favorite times of the year. You know, I love fall, y'all. I honestly do. Here on the East Coast of the United States, it's really cool. At least I find it cool to be able to see the leaves changing colors. You know, you get that whole fall vibe. And then you got a crisp, cool chill in the air, and you're able to enjoy a nice hot drink, whether it's coffee or tea, you know, while it's chilly out. And then you got your whole, you know, spooky vibe. You got spooky movies. I currently have Halloween 2 playing in the background. I've been watching spooky movies all month. You got candy corn, because who doesn't love a good candy corn every now and again? And of course, you got your spooky games. So today I just wanted to share the spooky games that have been in my gaming rotation over the past month or so. All of these games aren't necessarily spooky or like they're not jump scare galore and I'm so scared to play them, but they definitely have that Halloween vibe, that spooky vibe to them. So let's get into it. So the first game I'm going to talk about, I actually chatted a little bit about in my last video, which was part 2 of my summer recent pickups. And I got this on sale at GameStop. I thought it was the perfect price. And that's the Thing Remastered. Now, in that video, I did mention that I don't remember anything about this game, even though I did play it. I don't think I played through it to completion on the Xbox when it was released back in the early 2000s. So I have had a chance to play this game recently, and I gotta say, I really like what this game is putting down. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I really enjoy the movie, The Thing, which came out in the early 80s. I think it was like 1982. I didn't see it in 1982, but I was definitely young when I saw the movie. And I've been a fan of that movie ever since. Really crazy. It's creepy, atmospheric, just scary all around. The Thing Remastered takes place a couple of months after the events that occur in the movie. All right. So I couldn't remember if that was the case from when I originally played the game. But yes, this game takes place after everything that happens in the movie. You play as this guy that's going out to basically try to see what in the world happened. All right. And I was surprised when I started playing it. I was really surprised because I didn't realize that, or I totally forgot that you got a squad in this game. You got a squad of like a medic, an engineer, and I think it's just like a regular old gunman. But you can direct your squad where you need them to go and what you need them to do. It's definitely atmospheric. The controls are all right. It's definitely not too janky. There's a little bit of jank to it, but it's not too janky. It looks a little corny, not gonna lie, and the voice acting is a little corny as well, but it's definitely giving off those vibes from The Thing. Absolutely. You got the snow outside. They got this mechanic where if you're outside for too long, because we all know in that movie it's nothing but snow and it's super cold, right? You get cold just watching it. So if you're outside in the cold for too long, your health starts to decrease, you know, and I almost feel like there's some type of sanity to it as well, but I could be tripping. I haven't played a whole bunch of it, but yeah, you're going around these bunkers and you're coming across audio logs, you're coming across dead people, you know, and picking up keys and items that'll help you progress to see, you know, find out the mystery, try to solve the mystery as to what happened. I also totally forgot that the game was level based. So it is a level based game, and you come across different people throughout the levels. So tensions are high in the game. I can tell you that. I don't know what's going to pop out at me, although I do have a gun. Ammo is limited. It has that whole survival horror vibe to it, especially knowing if you know The Thing, then you know. So if you like the movie and you haven't played the game, I definitely recommend you checking it out. The next game that I want to talk about that's been in my spooky rotation for this Halloween season came out a couple of years ago, but I never got around to like actually diving and digging deep into it, right? And that's Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals. I originally played through Oxenfree, the first game when it came out, and I loved that game to pieces. I thought it was something like a breath of fresh air. It felt new and original, and definitely set the mood for all the spookiness that you need in your life, right? Oxenfree 2, I believe, as of right now, and I feel like I'm almost done with the game, but I don't see any correlation between this sequel and the original game. So yes, this is a supernatural like mystery game with some horror elements in there. I honestly believe it's more supernatural and mystery than horror. At least right now through this first playthrough, I haven't encountered anything that's made me feel a little uneasy, but the supernatural vibes are definitely present. So if you're familiar with this series, you know that it is super heavy on the narrative. It's a narrative-based game. And I think the narrative in this game is really good. Now, I don't know if it tops the first game, but with that being said, I do think that it's making me, I keep coming back to it because I want to know what is going on. I want this mystery to be solved. You play as Riley, who's this like teenager. She's in her like late teens, early adulthood, and she is signed up to basically set up these radio transmitters around this town, okay? And these transmitters are supposed to open up these portals. And that's all I really want to say about that without giving too, I know this is a couple years old, but I don't want to give too much of the narrative away since again, this game is heavy on the narrative. You have a partner, Jacob, alongside you. And I really feel like the magic in this game is the character development. I don't think the character development is as strong in this game, but I really do like these characters. You're doing a lot of exploring in Oxenfree 2. There's some time shifting there. Definitely some things pop up at you. Doing a little bit of platforming as well. I mean, this game is a bag of tricks. It's been a couple of nights this month where I've come home and, I've settled down and I want to play a game, something a little spooky before I go to bed. And just playing this game with headphones, which I totally recommend, playing this game with headphones, and it looks fantastic. It looks great, and it definitely is giving all the spooky vibes that I need. Nothing too hardcore, but definitely supernatural. It's like really all about the supernatural vibes and these portals that you're trying to place throughout this area. I think the writing is great. I love the voice acting. The voice acting doesn't feel forced. It feels super organic. It's a good time, I really enjoy it. And I hope that there's another Oxenfree down the line somewhere because I really do enjoy this series. Definitely is giving, that fall spooky vibe for sure. These last two games have definitely made me feel a little uneasy. There's a little fright involved with them. First one here for the Nintendo Switch 2, Little Nightmares 3. Little Nightmares 3 was one of my most anticipated games for this year. I have been waiting to play this game. I love the series. Little Nightmares 2, 1 and 2, but specifically 2. Absolutely loved it. The uneasiness that I felt while playing that game, unmatched. So far, I can't say the same about Little Nightmares 3. I'm not going to say I'm disappointed in the game, but it isn't giving what the last two games gave, if you feel what I'm saying. Something feels a little off about the game, but regardless, I will say atmosphere is on 10, all right? The atmosphere is on 10. So Little Nightmares 3, or I guess the series in general, is a horror puzzle platformer, okay? So think of a game like Limbo, very similar to that, along that 2D or 2.5D plane, and you're solving environmental puzzles to progress. Little Nightmares 3 switches things up a bit because you have two characters alongside with you throughout the entire game. The big focus on Little Nightmares 3 is the co-op. You can play this game co-op, online co-op, local, all that good stuff. I haven't had a chance to do that, but yeah, you play as two characters in this game, Low and Alone. Now, if you know anything about this series, you know that the narrative can be implied, right? It doesn't outright tell you what's going on, right? People have so many interpretations of the endings of these games, but I haven't completed this game. But from what I see, from what I've played, all right, you are trying to escape. What? I don't know. I don't know if you're trying to escape this area or if you're trying to escape a person. really hazy on that part of the game so far. But that's not, and I'm sure that'll all come together somewhere down the line. But the tension is definitely there. Now, I am playing this game single player. I know, like I said, the big emphasis is on co-op, but I am playing in single player. And in single player, you still do have that other character there to help you along the way. They have a different ability than you do. You know, one character has a bow and arrow so they can shoot things, and then another character has like a big old wrench so they can kind of whack things, okay? So if you're playing in single player like me, you can just direct the other character to do something or go somewhere so that you guys can work together to solve the puzzle. So far in my playthrough, I've come across a few things that have definitely made me feel like, what is that? You know, and like, why am I doing this? The atmosphere, like I mentioned, is all the way there. It's spooky, it's creepy. Right now I'm in like this candy factory. I believe it's a candy factory, and it's just wild and crazy. So yeah, Little Nightmares 3. I want to complete this. Hopefully by the end of this week I can have this done. Probably will end up playing majority of it on Halloween. So, you know, I can get all those Halloween spooky vibes. The last spooky game that has been in my Halloween rotation for this year, 2025, came out at the end of September. It's Silent Hill F. I've always felt like I've been more of a Resident Evil girly than a Silent Hill girly. You know, I've played all of the mainline Resident Evil games for the most part. And Silent Hill, you know, I've only played a handful and played through and completed a handful of those games. But I can officially say, when it comes to spooky, Silent Hill is where it's at. It honestly is. Playing Silent Hill F makes me want to go back and play like the other Silent Hill games that I haven't completed, like Silent Hill 3 and 4. I really do want to experience everything that this series has to offer. So Silent Hill F definitely feels different when you compare it to the other Silent Hill games in the series, or at least the ones that I've played through. The main thing for me, the difference is definitely, and I know not all Silent Hill games take place in Silent Hill, but Silent Hill F definitely doesn't take place in Silent Hill. It actually takes place back in like the 60s in Japan, in this fictional town in Japan. You play as a high school girl who has some issues in her family. Okay, there's some family issues going on. I mean, who doesn't have issues? But yeah, she realizes that everyone in her town or this town is gone. All right. And she has two other friends along with her. There might be 2 or 3 other friends along with her. They kind of split up along the way, but they're trying to figure out what the hell is really going on. I've always thought that the enemies in Silent Hill were just flat out creepy. And that has a lot to do with the way that the enemies move. I mean, just creepy. And in Silent Hill F, it's absolutely, there's no difference there. These enemies, their movements, the way they look, it's just, can be a little horrifying. There is this mysterious fog that's going on, right? But there's also, like I said, you got these enemies and there's combat as well. Now, one thing that's different, and I don't even know thinking back, but one thing that is different, the combat feels a little clunky. And I don't know if that's done purposefully, and I can see if it is done purposefully, why it would be that way, because this is a young high school student, right? It's a girl. She's carrying around this big old pipe, you know what I'm saying? This lead pipe, steel pipe, whatever the case may be. And she's literally trying to hoist this thing over her shoulder and beat the hell out of these creepy ass enemies. So the combat does feel a little clunky, and I can respect it. I'm not... You know, I get it. It's something that I actually enjoy in the game. So yeah, the combat is cool. And then you also, the weapons break. You know, there's weapon degradation. And I know some people don't typically like that. I'm not the biggest fan of that either, but I don't mind it in this game at all. One really cool aspect of the game that I find super interesting is the fact that you have this whole sanity meter, right? She has a sanity meter, and if she gets too scared, is going to be a problem. So you definitely have to manage the sanity meter. I believe your health starts to lower if you get too scared. You have stamina in this game. I mean, just all around, I feel like they've added a lot of new things into this game that I absolutely enjoy and respect for sure. One thing that I can't stand though, and I'm gonna let you know off the break, what I don't like about Silent Hill F are the puzzles. The puzzles are a problem. There's no reason why these puzzles are so irritating. I don't even want to say hard. Some are a little hard, but they're super irritating. All right. I just don't like them flat out. That's the thing that I like the least about this game. Some people might enjoy them, but I find them to just, they're not good. But with all that being said, I gotta say, I'm enjoying my time with Silent Hill 3. I find the atmosphere to be super creepy. You know, it gives off spooky vibes for sure, 100%. I mean, the fact that, you know, I feel a sense of dread sometimes when I come across certain enemies, especially if it's an enemy that I thought was down for the count, and then all of a sudden it gets back up and it's moving real creepy and coming. That you guys know, if you've played any of the other Silent Hill games, the way that the mannequins move, yeah, you know. So that's it, guys. Those are 4 spooky games that have been in my Halloween gaming rotation this year. If you've played any of these games, let me know what you think. And also let me know what spooky games have been in your gaming rotation during this Halloween season. As always, I want to thank all of you for watching this video, and I'll check you next time, guys. Peace.